Let's talk Jinx, a weekly Jinx video we do every Wednesday about anything to do with Jinx, as well as this video acting as a weekly discussion thread on the Jinx subreddit, our League of Jinx. Make sure to go check that out. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the W change to Jinx's Zap on the PvE. For those that don't know, essentially, it now scales faster on its cast time with the more attack speed that you build. One thing to clarify really quick, cast time is not cooldown, so it doesn't mean the 8 seconds going down like cooldown reduction. It literally means the wind-up time that it takes Jinx to fire the ability, which is about 1.5 seconds-ish depending. That will now get faster the more attack speed you build. So what I'm going to do in this video is switch over to a gameplay footage off of the PvE that I did against some training dummies to give you some comparison and some visuals about what it'll look like, and then conclude the video. And just for a little bit of clarity, it's not the cooldown for Zap, it means the cast time. So this right here, that little bar, if you could briefly see it, that's about 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds. That will get faster the more attack speed that you have. The significance being then, as you build more attack speed and get into the late game, even on a main build for Jinx like Crit, Zap will pretty much scale now with DPS, kind of like the minigun and the rocket launcher. On top of that, a little bit of significance is that, for those that don't know, there are some combos with Jinx's auto attacks and Zap. Like for example, if you're auto attacking this enemy dummy over here, you can actually auto attack, Zap, auto attack, and the second auto attack will come out a little bit faster, especially if you stack the minigun. If the minigun's fully stacked, you can go rocket, Zap, minigun, and get that other bullet out pretty fast. So that combo then now is actually a lot both smoother and a lot more DPS favorable in the late game once you start building items actually, which is what's kind of cool about all this whole thing, if you will. Like let's say this is a build that you build. Maybe it's not, but let's just pretend. Imagination's great. You have this build, you have quite a bit of attack speed, it's the late game, you're either kiting somebody or you're chasing somebody down. What's nice is that when you do this now, it pretty much comes out at the same time as your auto attacks. So if you're chasing somebody or trying to kite somebody, it will help you out quite a bit in the later game. Because obviously there's the question, well, why buff Zap? That's not what Jinx is mainly about, she's mainly about auto attacks. This buff, at least in my opinion, is aimed at making Zap a bit more useful in the later game, making that part of her kit more accessible so that you can maybe use a bit more reliably without losing the DPS and that falling off. Well, here's an example. I'll just get something with a bunch of attack speed in it. Like, we'll get a bunch, like 6 of these, just so you can see attack speed. What this actually changes and does for that combo, and then also what it does for the late game, because it means you'll be able to weave in more Ws in the later game, because it basically has DPS too. So here's a combo with a bunch of attack speed now. We get up to 3. So there's 3. Basically almost at the same time that you're firing Zap, the minigun will now be firing too. Get up there, rockets. The minigun switch. So in short, the significance of this change, in my opinion and my experimentation, isn't so much the fact that even though you won't lose DPS, you can get Zap in there at the same time that you're auto-attacking. The damage on Zap, for me, it's more so about the utility of Zap. If you're kiting somebody now in the late game and you're dueling them with your auto attacks, you'll be able to get Zap in there and also slow them to maybe get yourself a little bit more distance, switch into rocket form, maybe auto space them with your rockets instead, and as such survive a bit better. Or if you're chasing somebody down in a duel and they try and flee from you, again, you can now fit Zap in with your auto attacks without losing that DPS and use the slow, basically use the utility part of Zap more often in the late game, which maybe often is forgotten. Zap does do a lot of damage after all, but also slows. So there you go. That's, I think, is the significance of this change. I don't know if it would personally change anything. I'll leave that up to your opinion to comment in the comment section down below. So thank you so much for watching this video, and let's have that discussion. What do you think of this change? Is it nice that you won't lose the DPS using this late game in a crit build, of course, with attack speed and stuff? Do you think it really doesn't change anything at all? Do you think it does change something, but there could be more changes that could be nicer? Whatever the case is, comment down below. But thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button, and I don't know which video will be next, because life can have a lot of kinks. So until this time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.